What's good, boys? We're back with another Scented, Edgy, and Commandment VOD review, and today I'm gonna just be going over their VOD review. Normally I just VOD review by myself and I don't record it, but I just figured might as well, you know? Let's get into it. Let's get this HUD back up. I'm probably not even gonna chop any of this gameplay. I'm gonna just run it all the way through so you guys can watch the whole game if you want. So if I make some mistakes while making this video, fuck it, you know? Who cares? I don't know how that kid lost that fight. Good kill by Scented. Questionable aim duel, but he won it, so it's all good. He knows what he's doing. Looks like they're just farming up, sticking together here. Edgey's on the other side. But I think they're going to try to get together on this one kid over here. Blocking his angles. I like how he does that because this is a higher elo lobby. They're at 85 points. I think this is their third game. Maybe fourth. So the kids in this game, they're fucking good. Just taking some different angles, getting some good shots on. Pressuring from different angles like this is going to be, and then they just all get together and clean it up. So easy. Look at this. They don't even go for that kid. It's one kid, and they all wait until they're all together. That's actually like I know it's just an early game fight with ARs, 3v1, but like, wow, I don't know what that makes me. I don't know. It was a good play. So I don't know really why he built that there. Maybe just looking for more kids, surge tags. Blocking off his angles, just in case. Goes all the way up here to loot. I didn't know that they do this. Because these cabins are actually where I land at. Or actually my duo does, but it's where we land for trios, so interesting stuff. They get a pad here. I'm going to be watching Scented for now because he's the main IGL, and then late game I'm going to be watching Commandment so I can watch his tarps and so I can get better at tarping and knowing which layer to choose, and we can learn. But if you guys want to see some pop-off gameplay, I'll be doing some VOD reviews from Edgey and Commandment's POV because I love how they frag out together. Like, if you watch them play endgame, they're like, you'll see it later, but they always stick together. They're always making calls and playing together. It's so nice to watch. We're just gonna zoom through this. They just get this alien chest, and I know they like to go to these mountains up here to get surge, these ones up here to the left, so we'll see what they do this game. Go to this house to loot up, get some metal, and then yeah, those aren't very close to center zone, so they just decide to send it in the car. I'm gonna slow it down a little bit, see if they get some surge tags or see what happens. Just looking for tags and building when they think they're gonna get shot at. Normal stuff. Now that they're out of... So do they all have cows? No, they actually don't. Only Scented. So Scented gets ahead here. Gets to this metal to farm up. There's a lot of teams around them. You see this team fighting, another team pulling up in a car. This is a little bit risky with this split they had going here, but they end up being alright. Those kids just drove right past. These are really high elo lobbies, so most kids aren't going to want to fight. But if they see a solo like that, like those kids could have just beam sent it out the window and had a nice little 3v2. But they got back together nicely, got the drop. It's probably one of the reasons they won this game, actually, is because they got that drop right there. I'm not going to lie, but we'll see what happens. So let me... Alright, I'm a shitty VOD reviewer, whatever the fuck you want to call me, because I don't know how to... Wait. I don't know how to pull the map out, but I'm guessing they're dead center, or they're going to get dead center as soon as third pops. Yeah, let's see what happens. They were probably dead center for second, and then they're probably going to try to get dead center for third. This is... Okay, this is a good play. He cows ahead for the car, waits for his teammates, and then they all hop in. Dude, that's so clean. Like, honestly, if that was me, I feel like I would have gotten beamed there, but they just went around that team under the natural cover, and now they're, like, practically in dead center. They're dead center, yeah. So that ensures them next zone. I can't imagine they even do anything in this box. They just chill, probably. Look for some tags, look for some kids fighting. Maybe a third party. Yeah, these kids are fighting, actually. They're probably going to look for these kids. They're setting up pre-edit plays right now. Edgey's usually the pre-editor, I believe. Let's see what they do here. The other team falls back, and then they just decide, yeah, we don't need it. Because they don't like to take 3v3s very much, I've noticed. Like, they play so smart and together that it's never a 3v3. Like, right there was, it was a 3v2 kinda, but they just said, nah, like, if they're not fighting, we don't want to fight them. Like, the only reason they went up to that is because they thought they could third party, but... Right here, they tarp into zone. Use up their metal. Interesting use of metal here, I'm not gonna lie. They're always looking for refreshes though, so metal isn't always the biggest deal. But I mean, if you don't want to get focused, I think that was a decent play. That was a decent play. Because these are good lobbies. Like, if you look at the bottom right of your screen right now, you can see how many kids there are in this game. Pretty good amount. Actually, this is... Okay, now I know why they used metal. So, zones usually pull up to mountains, and he tarped... They were already on the mountain, so they're kind of assuming that zone's going to pull for them, half and half. So, I mean, we'll see what happens, but... Zones in Fortnite typically like to pull either up or down elevation, so half and half is most likely going to pull onto this mountain, and then it's probably going to pull down or up or something later for moving. So they use this metal to get a little bit of a tarp, just in case they do pull half and half, they can get into a better position, or if moving zone pulls that way. But 9 seconds until next zone, so we'll see if my prediction was correct. It was incorrect, wow. Alright, well... see what they do here. They have 2 pads, 1 pad. I think one of them might have the other pad. They use some wood. And then they just... I like how they do this. They get a little bit of head of zone because they can see all these teams back there. But, like, it's a little bit risky because, like, all these teams could, like, look at you while you're rotating. But most of these kids want to get to zone. They're not going to try to fight someone that's in front of them. Like, they're going to try to get ahead and then fight someone that's behind them, like what most kids are doing, like what Sentid's trying to do here. He just tries to get ahead, uses his old builds. I like this play right here. This is a clean rotate. Me? Okay, I need to take notes of this. I was gonna write down notes, but I might just rewatch my YouTube videos just to relearn this shit. But I would typically, future me, when you're watching this shit, I would typically go to the right or the left here, I'm not gonna lie, and you can see that's where a lot of the kids are piling up. I mean, there's a couple of kids just white lining it, but you can see that these teams are going to the right and the left, and that's where usually I go. I'm not gonna lie, just because it's the freest rotate to kind of just wrap around the edge, and I guess everyone's thinking the same thing. But you'll see the low pad here get way ahead. Okay, this was a good play. They like to get into the center or like near the center of half and halves, so that no matter where moving pulls, they get it. And also this ensures that all the people that are on this like edge right here, if you're looking at my cursor, they're a little bit more away from all those people, so they can look back at people, or they can just not have to fight anyone because no one's really near them, you know? Like, there's obviously kids everywhere in this fucking game, but like these kids are gonna have other teams on their walls, whereas Scented, Edgey, and Commandment have probably like 2 or 3 boxes where the closest team even is. So they're big chilling, just gonna wait for next zone to pull. Let's see what they do here. All right, let me see if so Scented actually has the least amount of mats right now, so I'm going to assume that they're going to use his pad, and then Commandment's just going to tarp the rest of the game. But oh, okay, that was sick. I should have been watching for that. They love doing pre-edit plays. They've been getting good at those, I'm not going to lie. So one of them has the pre-edit on. I think it might be... it doesn't really matter who it is, but you'll see what they do. So one of them has the pre-edited wall. They see this other team is looking at another team, and there's a brick wall, so they can break it relatively quickly. And then they just say, all right, let's go for something. Let's see this actually. So they have 30 seconds until zone. Here, right. So they knock one kid. Get a nice little refresh. They tarp a little bit ahead here. They don't actually have to go too far, but they know they have to go over this and down. So I'm going to assume they just high pad this right over the mountain. So basically what they did there is they knew they had 30 seconds to fight, and then as soon as zone pulls, that's when they try to get ahead. Obviously zone has a little bit of time to get to their back, which was a good play to go for that refresh so that they can tarp into zone a little more and not have to worry about padding on the back edge of zone. And this also ensures that they can get even more kills. I don't know if they get some kills out of the air right here or anything, but they look at some kids back here, and yep, did they get that? Oh no, never mind. I thought he just died. I don't know, it looked like he died on my screen for some reason. But yeah, they're looking back for kids. They high pad. Get to the far left edge of zone. I mean, if you've watched my other VOD reviews, I often talk about the dead sides of moving zone. On any moving zone, if you're on the left or the right side, it often doesn't really matter too much which layer you're playing. It just matters which edge of zone you're playing. As long as you're on the edges, you're less likely to get focused, because you can only get focused from above, below, or from one side, not the other side. Like you'll see Scented, he doesn't even put walls on this side of his tarp because he doesn't have to. Right here, Edgey gets low, so he decides to build full boxes, but he keeps going to the left here. You'll see him just keep going to the left, wants to get to this part of zone, get far left, and save mats because they don't have to place a wall on their left side. They can also look to the left side and go right hand peek on people low ground, but they just look back and see who they pick up here. Get a little height kill and then they crank. I like that. Okay, that was actually a good ass play. They were looking back for kids, and then they just decided, you know what, let's look for height. Maybe they're fighting, let's see what they're up to. And then they're actually all the way on the back side, fighting, and then all they had to do was look up and then spray them down and then crank up. And because they're so far ahead of the other team, when they're cranking up, the other team just has to drop, because whether it was a 1v3 or a 2v3, they're no match for Scented, Edgey, and Commandment. So that's probably gonna be it for the game almost. I mean, I'll see what happens. Down to the final zone, but I would assume they just hold height, spray down. So it looks like he got sniped there or something. Just staying ahead, single layering when they don't have to double layer, and then when they get focused they double layer. Double layering with wood. Typically, I like to have one player on a higher layer, just in case a patter wants to come up, or someone's flanking in zone, or just any of those circumstances where someone can take height from you. But 16 builds, 9 builds, 37 builds, they're trying to save their mats for sure here. So I kind of wanted to see some tarping by Commandment, but not today, I guess. Damn, gets sniped again. I'm gonna just fast forward until last zone, because it doesn't really look like they do much besides go for extra loot, which is smart. Send one player down to go for the extra loot. They could have even went to grab this other loot in there, but they won the game. So $39 builds, 11 builds, and 8. That's enough to win the game. They know they have a 3v3 right here. Scented's popping a med kit while they pressure, so that they don't pressure him while he's popping the med. And then they actually, yeah, they just fight it. Nice hard pump. Took one down with him. That's good. If he didn't do that, that would have been a little bit of a risky play, but it paid off. Edgey's in storm healing up. Commandment's coming up for the chug cannon. And then he builds those walls so that when he dies, he doesn't give the other player siphon. That's one thing. Okay, if you watch like Benji Fishy play, like he'll like literally box himself up when he dies, even if there's no one around him, just in case like the team wants to get siphon, you know, like that's their heal off. I explained that pretty shittily, but just when you're about to go down, just protect yourself so that no one can tag you, especially if no one's tagged you already, because if someone's tagged you, like someone shot Scented, I believe, so he's like, fuck it, I'll just go down. And because if he died, then that player would have gotten siphon either way, so he just decided like, I'm gonna go down and get a kill no matter what before I die, because that person's getting my siphon no matter what. But on the other hand, Commandment didn't even get touched, so he just decides, I'm just gonna build some walls, I'll go down, that's fine, Edgey can heal off. As long as the other player doesn't finish me and doesn't get the siphon, then we win the game, and that's what happened. So, hope you guys learned a thing or two in this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next VOD review, or whatever it may be. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.